Okay, so Wavepower is our policy document which provides both our standards and our policies on safeguarding and welfare for all of our affiliated organisations. It's designed to help our members and everyone involved in our aquatic sports to enjoy the sport and to be safe within that sport as well. It's there to provide support for clubs in handling any safeguarding or welfare queries that they may come across. Safeguarding is so important to ensuring that our members and everyone involved in our sport feels happy, they feel safe, they feel included in their sport. And it's part of our commitment to ensuring that the culture in our sports is such that people do want to attend and enjoy aquatic sports across all of our disciplines. What Wavepower does is it gives that framework and it gives that support to clubs, to swim schools, to coaches, to welfare officers, to enable them to support members and ensure that they are protected and feel safe when taking part in Swim England activities. Okay, well, Wavepower was due for a refresh. It's been our safeguarding document for the last 3 years, so it was due a review and a refresh, but obviously the landscape in safeguarding has changed in that time. So we wanted to take account of new legislation, new learning from cases and guidance to ensure that our advice to our organisations is the best it can be and the most up-to-date it can be. And that's another part of why we've refreshed it, is we wanted Wavepower to be a living, breathing document. It's a document that will be reviewed on an annual basis, but can be updated as and when necessary. Wavepower has changed in a number of ways, but there are 5 key areas where we've made some changes to Wavepower which will have an impact on our positive impact on our members. The first big one is actually adult safeguarding. Previous versions of Wavepower have focused on safeguarding children in our sports, which is obviously still a hugely important area of the work we do. However, all of our members do deserve the right and have the human right to enjoy and take part in our activities safely. So we have new guidance for our welfare officers and our clubs and our swim schools and organisations on how to manage any potential adult safeguarding concerns that we have. Okay, one key area in which we have tightened up previous guidance in Wavepower is around how we safeguard our changing rooms, particularly with reference to mobile devices, mobile phones and cameras. The big change is that it is now prohibited to use a mobile device in a changing room while taking part in Swim England regulated activities. This has been an important move to help protect our members from both accidental use of technology and photos being taken, but also, unfortunately, some situations we've had where photos have been taken of members without their permission. Okay, another change is in our approved training. From January of this year, anyone who is required to do safeguarding training as part of their role within Swim England will need to do our forthcoming Swim England safeguarding course. This is a bespoke course that is focused on aquatics and takes account of the changes to Wavepower as well as changes in adult safeguarding, and gives our members an opportunity and the support to know exactly who to speak to within our sport if they have a concern. Okay, in the area of safer recruitment, we've tightened up Wavepower, and we are now ensuring that organisations are following all of our safer recruitment guidelines with regard to anyone in a role which is a paid role carrying out regulated activity. And this includes things not only such as DBS checks, but also checking references and other safer recruitment guidelines. And finally, in terms of welfare officers, we've moved from a position of it being best practice that a welfare officer is not related to or in a relationship with an organisation's chair or a member of the coaching team or the teaching team. Going forward, based on our experience of cases and our understanding of the obstacles sometimes that people face when wanting to raise concerns in an aquatic setting, we have mandated that welfare officers in our organisations must not be in a relationship or closely related to either a member of the coaching or teaching team or the chair or owner-operator of an organisation. If you see someone using a mobile phone in a changing room, I do think it's important to differentiate between, someone innocently carrying a mobile phone through a changing room and someone actively using it. If you see someone using a mobile phone, most important thing is to raise that with either your organisation's welfare officer or the centre in which this is taking place. They'll then be able to handle your concern in the appropriate way and either speak to that person if appropriate and ask them to put the phone away, or if there is a concern that harm is taking place, they would then follow the referral routes that is appropriate to that. My advice to all of our members would be try to avoid the temptation to take your phone out of your pocket and check your emails or make a phone call. Keep your phone in your bag and then make sure that if you do need to use your mobile phone, take yourself out of the changing room area to do so. We're not saying that mobile phones can't be taken into a changing room. We would ask you to keep them in your pocket, keep them in your bag. This policy is around the use of mobile phones in a changing area. Now, obviously, there will be occasions where potentially a mobile phone needs to be used in an emergency. You may need to make an emergency telephone call due to someone suffering a medical incident. We do understand that some of our members will use a mobile device for their own medical reasons, and we would simply ask you to do that in the privacy of your own cubicle and ensure that the club are aware of your use of the mobile phone in those circumstances. In all other circumstances, please keep your phone in your pocket or your bag. Don't be tempted to take it out to check it until you've left the changing room area. Wavepower is a really important document for a number of reasons. It is the toolkit and the framework for our welfare officers and our clubs and all of our affiliated organisations to respond to concerns around safeguarding and welfare, and it provides a huge amount of support in that area. But it's also a really important document in being proactive and setting out best practice and the standards that we expect so that the culture is right in clubs and the culture is right in our settings and organisations to try and actually avoid some of the safeguarding welfare situations that come up. So I would say that all members and parents of members should be aware of Wavepower and should look at Wavepower to see the standards we're setting to ensure that our sports are as safe as possible for our members. The most important thing you can do if you do have a safeguarding or welfare concern is to raise it. Well, what we don't want people to do is wait in silence. No, raise it, and raise it with your organisation's welfare officer. They are trained people who will deal with any concerns in a compassionate and independent way, so you can feel confident in raising that concern. They may well seek further advice and support from either their county welfare officer or their regional welfare officer. They may well refer to us at the central team for help and advice on how to manage that concern. But also, if you feel you do want to contact the Swim England Safeguard and Welfare team, you can do that directly, and you can do that by visiting our child or adult safeguarding referral forms, which are available on our website.